So Utah has just declared porn to be a public health hazard. Really, a public health hazard. I mean, it's not like, say, smoking kills 500,000 people a year in America alone. Or alcohol, another 100,000 people. Or guns, 30,000. Or cars, another 30,000. No god since the time of the Aztecs has demanded human sacrifice on such a scale. And this is why I'm so leery about things like this. You know, it's like that recent crazy Russian hacker video where he's not so much building an air conditioner as a suicide machine.
Check this out, how cool is that? The cold smoke comes out.
Now, should he be allowed to do that on YouTube? Sure, it's against the terms of service, but hell, what isn't?
This community guideline very clearly says YouTube is not for porn or sexually explicit stuff, right? If this describes your video, don't post that shit. So don't you dare try and post any nudie vids on YouTube, right?
I mean, for me, I say yes. People do dumb stuff all the time, like losing a leg by blowing up their lawnmower, or jumping out of a perfectly functioning plane. I mean, should we stop them just because 50 or so people a year die doing it? Should women be prevented from knowing men, seeing as the ones that they know are the ones most likely to sexually assault them?
Most perpetrators aren't greasy, creepy guys who hang out in the shadows. They're just regular people in our lives.
It shows that the majority of child abductions are not committed by strangers, but by somebody the child knows in their own town. The report further states that it is because the child trusts the individual that problems occur in the first place.
The study shows that the most likely abductors of children are the parents themselves.
Yeah, living life requires risk.
When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die. There is no middle ground.
And if you're taking risks with something you really care about, it can be a high-risk game.
Question for you. Jana, please. I need to. You truly make me the happiest person on earth.
Good. Twice the pride, double the fall.
It's about time I ask her a very important question. Bobby the ring, please.
Oh my god!
And quite often, the things you enjoy most incur risk, or things that may be self-harming are actually enjoyable. I mean, it may well be that if I spent my entire life eating low-calorie gruel, that I could live for years longer.
You're serving us gruel?
Not quite. This is crusty brand imitation gruel. 9 out of 10 orphans can't tell the difference.
Or phrased another way, in that world, there would be hundreds of thousands of preventable deaths every year from people not eating low-calorie gruel. But who wants to live forever if it precludes all of the things you enjoy? Further, scientific discovery, what got us to where we are now, frequently requires risk. Marie Curie died from radiation poisoning. The first 3 Apollo astronauts died in their Saturn V. Yuri Gagarin, the first man in space, died in a jet crash. There are no great men or women in history that didn't take risks. Indeed, it may be one of the more interesting suggestions of why there aren't as many great women in history as men, is that women are more risk-averse than men.
The Thessalonian you're fighting, he's the biggest man I've ever seen. I wouldn't want to fight him.
That's why no one will remember your name.
Now, sure, that means that you're going to get a lot more Darwin Awards, and sure, 9 out of 10 of them go to men. But then again, 9 out of 10 of the people in the People Are Awesome videos are also men.
Why do you think more girls don't do YouTube?
I have no idea. No idea in the slightest.
I don't have an explanation for this, I don't know why.
I don't know what the reason is.
Playing it safe will not get you to the top in any field.
Why do you think it takes 200 channels to find the top 20 female channels?
That's really embarrassing.
Yeah, you want the payoff of being in the people are awesome videos. You will never get that by playing it safe. And for men and women, you're going to get some more Darwin Awards. But honestly, that's the price of freedom. That's the price of being a grown-up, being an adult, is that you are responsible for your own actions. Mommy doesn't look after you when you're a grown-up, and neither should the nanny state. I have no desire to live in a country where the government meddles in every little portion of my life because some muppet with a vested interest has a study that says it's harmful.
But we have 40 years of research to tell us that violent media is bad for our children. According to the most comprehensive statistical analysis yet conducted, violent video games increase aggressive behavior as much as lead exposure decreases children's IQ scores. And I want people to think about that. Everybody knows lead poisoning is bad for children. Oh, I want everybody to know that exposure to violent video games is also bad for children.
I mean, just take as an example Sarkeesians' crusade against the immorality of gaming. I mean, even if she was right, I mean, she's not, but even if she was right that it's socially harmful to some barely detectable degree, so what? Smoking kills about 500,000 people per year and no one bats an eyelid. And yet there she is, petitioning the United Nations and Mommy Google that people shouldn't be allowed to say what they think about her online. I mean, let's just be a little more selective here about the line over which the government declares things to be immoral.